Yes, it is very special that we are able to assemble here today for this very auspicious occasion of Sri Ram-navami. So I will try to um, share some of the glories of Lord Ram as well as of his associates, Ram Lila. In these days, we remember Srila Gurudev, how he used to be very much absorbed in describing Ram Lila in such a pathetic way, mm, weeping and manifesting the deep feelings of separation of this, maybe the biggest drama in whole history, that is Ramayana. But that's not my adhikar to uh, attempt to do like Srila Gurudev. So nevertheless, I pray to his lotus feet that by his inspiration, by his mercy, something we will be able to be shared. We'll be able to share today. So, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are beautiful glorifications of Lord Ram. So I'm going to quote some verses from Bhagavatam, and you begin gradually unfold the glories of Lord Ram, the glories of Valmiki Rishi, the glories of Ramayana, etc. So in Srimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, 11th chapter, verse 21st, it says, Lord Ramachandra's spotless name and fame, which vanquish all sinful reactions, are celebrated in all directions, like the ornamental cloth of the victorious elephant that conquers all directions. Great saintly persons like Markandeya Rishi still glorify his characteristics in the assemblies of great emperors like Maharaj Yudhishthir. Similarly, all the saintly kings and all the demigods, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, worship the Lord by bowing down with their helmets. Let me offer my obeisances unto his lotus feet. The next verse, 22nd. Lord Ramachandra returned to his abode, to which bhakti yogis are promoted. This is the place to which all the inhabitants of Ayodhya went after they served the Lord in his manifest pastimes, by offering him obeisances, touching his lotus feet, fully observing him as a father-like king, sitting or lying down with him like equals, or even just accompanying him. So here in this verse, actually we have the description of the different rasas that we can relate to Lord Ramchandra. Mm. So in this way, uh, all the Ayodhya-vasis, actually they were liberated. Everyone went back with Lord Ram to the transcendental Ayodhya. Hmm. Then next verse is the verse 23rd. O King Parikshit, anyone who orally receives the narrations concerning the characteristics of Lord Ramachandra's pastimes will ultimately be freed from the disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. So it is our great fortune that we can hear about the pastimes of Lord Ram, and for that, and by that we can be freed from disease of envy and thus be liberated from the bondage of fruitive activities. Mm. Also, Lord Ram himself, he says, for as long as Ramayana will be, for as long as the sun and the moon will be present in the sky, Ramayana will be glorified all over the world. So Lord Ram is saying that there will be no end, at least during the whole creation, that Ramayana will always be present here. Hmm. So then, actually, there is a beautiful commentary of Ramayana. Actually, the most ancient, the first commentary of Ramayana, it was written by Bhaktaram. Bhaktaram, he wrote this commentary, and the name he gave was Tilak. The name of the commentary is Tilak. So in this commentary, he is describing the beautiful tree of Ramayana. So he's comparing Ramayana as a beautiful tree. And what he says? He says the supreme absolute truth is its spotless seed. So the seed of Ramayana is the absolute truth. Its transcendental expansive trunk is equipped with 7 major roots, means the 7 episodes of Ramayana. So the trunk is connected to the ground by 7 major roots. Every root is 1 episode. Then they grow from the devotional soil base that is represented by Valmiki Rishi. So Valmiki Rishi, he is the base, he is the soil that nourishes the tree of Ramayana. Then from that big trunk there are 500 branches, which are the 500 chapters. And then 24,000 leaves are the 24,000 verses. And then the fruit that it bestows upon the readers is self-realization. So by studying Ramayana, we will be able to realize Lord Ram himself. In Ramayana, it is said, Ramayanam Vedam Samam. Ramayana is equal to Vedas. So Ramayana is none other than Jai. Ramayana is none other than Vedas itself. So there are some similarities between actually Valmiki and Vyasadeva. And also some similarities between Bhagavatam and Ramayana. So which are they? Actually, both of them, Valmiki and Vedavyas, they felt despondent. Vedavyas, why he felt despondent? Because he was unable to feel satisfaction by writing the Vedas, Puranas and Upanishads. And then Narada Muni had to come and inspire him to write Srimad Bhagavatam, so that finally he was able to feel the transcendental bliss. So in the same way, Valmiki Rishi, he also felt despondent. Hare Krishna. So how Valmiki, he felt despondent? Actually, once he was coming to the river to perform his oblations. And then he looked, there was one hunter near that river. So he actually became very upset to see that hunter. And he actually cursed the hunter. And what he said? Mani shadda prachistatvam agama shashwati samaha. Yat kroncha mitunadikam avadikama mohitam. What the hunter did, he killed a couple of cranes. And they were in the middle of their mating. They were absorbed in that mood when he killed them. Valmiki, he was very upset. And he spoke this verse. And this verse says, O Nishada. Nishada means the hunter. May you never attain any stable peace for the long years of eternity. For you killed one of the 2 craunches, birds that were overcome with the desire to mate. But after he repented, he thought, why should I speak such heavy words? I am a rishi. I supposed to only wish for the welfare of the living entities. Why have I cursed him like this? And then he sat on the bank of the river and he began to lament. At that very moment, Lord Ram appeared to him. And Lord Ram said, actually, Valmiki, you should be happy. because your words will come as absolute truth. And Valmiki, he was very surprised. See, how is it possible that these very heavy words of a curse coming from the mouth of a sage will become absolute truth? He said, yes, because the verse you spoke, I have taken it otherwise. So Lord Ram, he understood and he interpreted that verse in a different way. You know that Sanskrit verses can have different meanings according to the adhikar of the listener or of the writer. So what is the alternate translation that actually Lord Ram took to his heart? He said, O Ma Nishada. Ma Nishada. Ma means Lakshmi. Nishada means the shelter. Or the shelter of Lakshmi means O Ram. O Lord. May you attain stable prestige for the long years of eternity. For you killed one of the two Krauncha, means the demons, named Ravana, who was overcome with lust. So Lord Ram took the verse considering that it was his glorification instead of just a curse, and he blessed Valmiki. Okay, you have repented, this is good. Now let us turn the page and do what is supposed to do. Means to write Ramayana, to reveal Ramayana. So then Lord Brahma, he comes, and then Brahma, he blesses Valmiki Rishi to be able to write everything. And Brahma gives what? The Samadhi Darshan, gives this Lila Darshan to Valmiki Rishi. In same way, Vyasadeva also, he received blessings from Narada Muni and he saw the whole Srimad Bhagavatam before he writes. Same way, Valmiki also, he saw the whole Ramayana before he writes. And both met their Ishtadev also before writing. Vyasadeva already met Krishna before in the Rajaswi Yagya of Yudhishthira Maharaj, as well as Valmiki also met Lord Ram before in this episode. One more interesting similarity is that both literature reveal the Gayatri Mantra in a hidden way. We know that Srimad Bhagavatam is the very embodiment of Gayatri, right? So the whole Gayatri is actually described in Bhagavatam. But because you cannot describe Gayatri in an open way, it is disguised. How it is? They begin with the syllables, sometimes in each chapter, sometimes in each verse, and then just by taking the first syllable of each verse from each chapter, you combine them, then comes Brahma Gayatri there. So same thing happened also with Ramayana. So now let us see how Hanumanji is glorifying Lord Ram, because actually he's the one who has this adhikar, right? So there is a very beautiful book called Hanumat Samhita, in which Hanuman, he is himself speaking many glories of Ram. So in one verse, he is saying, O Ram, there is an immense glory of your name in this world. As soon as one chants Ra, the mouth opens and all the sins in the person comes out from the mouth. But in the moment that you say Ma, the mouth shuts, avoiding the sins to come back again. Like this, Ram. Understand? So let's say you say, when you say M, the then your mouth shuts, and then automatically the sins won't come again. This is what Hanuman say. So may this name Ram stay always on the tip of the tongue of this servant of Sri Ram, Hanuman. And one more verse, Hanuman is saying, O Ram, we consider your name to be greater than your own self. You only managed to deliver everyone in Ayodhya, but your name delivered everyone in the whole world and is still delivering. This is how we consider Krishna's name even superior than Krishna himself. So Hanumanji is saying, Ram's name is superior than Ram himself. Because Ram, he is limited. He can only deliver those who are in front of him. Maybe he can also deliver from distance, but not that much. But his name, when it's chanted by everyone, anytime, you can get delivered by that. In the beginning of Ramayana, there are the description of Lord Ram's qualities. So, the first quality of Lord Ram is Gunavan, means he's endowed with all the excellent qualities. Second is Birayavan. Biryavan, sorry. He's endowed with prowess. Then Dharmagya, always righteous in all actions. Then Kirtagya, grateful. He always remembers a little bit help that every associate gave him. Even he was very pleased with all the small animals who were helping to build the bridge towards Lanka, like the squirrel, and he caressed the squirrel. Then those 3 white lines cross the back of the squirrel. Till nowadays, the squirrels are having this type of thing. Actually, Ram Leela is full of miracles. That till nowadays it defies science. Beginning with the bridge itself, right? Nowadays, satellites are taking the images and they see the remnants of the bridge. Also, one more nice proof of Ram Leela is because it happens maybe almost 2 million years ago. And at that time, humans were present, living along with monkeys. But modern scientists, the evolutionists will say that we evolved from monkeys just 100,000 years ago only, 1 lakh year before. How is it possible that a couple of millions of years they were living together and dwelling together? Like that. Also, Lord Ram, he very often shot arrows in the rock to make water to come out. So many places in India there are this type of holy well that Lord Ram has made by shooting arrows, sometimes to quench Sita's thirst, sometimes he isn't, like that. So many. So in this way, Ram Leela is full of very interesting stories. So then Lord Ram's next quality is Satya Vakya, truthful in his statements. Dridha Vrata, self-determined and firm in his vows and deeds. Charitrena, endowed with good conduct. Sarvabhuteshu Hita, benefactor of all living beings. Vidwan, he is knower of everything. Samartha, competent in doing things that cannot be done by others. Ekkapriya Darshana, solely delightful in appearance. Atmavan, courageous. Jitta Krodha, conqueror of anger. Dyutiman, endowed with splendor and brilliance. Asuyakha, one who is free from envy. Jatta Roshasya Asya Samoge Deva Cha Bibhyati. Even gods are afraid when provoked to war. So these are the 16 beautiful qualities of Lord Ram described in Ramayana. But now comes a very interesting thing. Why Lord Ram came? There are 3 major reasons that why he came. First, the demigods, they appealed to Lord Narayan that he should come to help because Ravan was doing so many, disturbances, a lot. But what Lord told? Lord told, okay, you wanted me to come to help, but you also have to come. And not only that, you have to do some austerities. And what austerities are that? You all have to come as monkeys. You all have to come as monkeys and fight as my army. With this, Lord Ram, he is actually saying that because it is something very shameful to be accompanied by monkeys, to be accompanied by animals. You're not supposed to enter any important place or do any important thing followed by monkeys. It's not good. Followed by dogs, anything like that. But the Lord is showing here that He doesn't care for what position you are, for what type of body you have, but because you are His devotee. That is the best quality that He is looking on us. So that is what we should think. Because Vaishnavas, they are not judged by their birth, by their varna, by their ashram, by their physical appearance, by their intellectual qualifications, by their degrees, by whatever it may be external, but only and only for their devotion. So this is one reason why Lord Ram came. Second reason was to protect the rishis. The rishis were being heavily disturbed when they were trying to perform their yagyas and so many things. But then there is a third reason, which is more funny type. One day, Lakshmi ji, she came to Lord Narayan and said, look, I have only one request from you. Can we have a moment of privacy? Can we have a moment only us that I can serve you? And Lord Narayan said, but what you're talking about? There is only you and me here. You want more privacy than that? She said, look, there are thousands of eyes always looking to me. She was referring to Anantashesh. Anantashesh has many heads. He's saying she keeps looking all the time. He keeps looking all the time. That's not privacy. We have thousands and thousands of eyes looking if I'm doing right or not, what I'm doing. I don't feel good like this. And then Lord Narayan said, okay, I'll manage something. But to have that privacy, you have to come with me to the earth. And we have to manage some special pastime. And then she said, okay, I'll go, definitely. Okay. Then Ram came. And then Sita came. So, so they married. And after marriage, they lived for 12 years in Ayodhya. In the meantime, Sita reminded him, hey, you forgot about why we have come? That was to have privacy. But you are so popular, you are so attractive, although you are not the king, but everyone treats you like so. You are full-time busy with people coming and talking, and I have no time with you at all. And then Ram said, okay, I will manage something. I will manage for us to be for 14 years alone in the forest. Only Lakshman will come. But even though he will have his kutir and we will have our privacy, are you okay with that? And she said, yes, of course. So, actually, sometimes people like to blame Mantara, for being like the evil, Actually, she was the one who actually made all these things possible. Externally, we see that there might be some fault, there might be some type of conspiracy, some type of, poisoning, anything like she did, but in the mind of Kaikeyi. But that's not actually the real thing. The real thing is that Ram used her to accomplish this lila for so many reasons. This is only one of the reasons. That is why it's like this. So in this way, they had this lila arranged. But of course, this lila brings a lot of reasons for why it happened like that. A lot of reasons. So I like to describe now the marriage between Ram and Sita. Is a very beautiful thing. Actually, Lord Ram, he was with Vasishtha Rishi and the brothers in the ashram. And They were learning how to, fight, how to shoot arrows, how to, become skilled in warfare, like that. Learning also the scriptures, everything. They were full time in Gurukul. But then Vashishta Rishi, he understood that Janaka Maharaj is trying to find a suitable husband for Sita. Why is that? Because Sita, she was very strong. When she was only 5 years old, she was playing with her girlfriends. And they were trying to pick some flowers from the tree, but it was too high. And Sita told, oh, there is a bow in my father's place. I can bring it and I can pluck this flower with that bow. So that was the Shiva's bow. So she very easily lifted that. And she plucked the flower with that. That even the greatest warriors and thousands of men cannot lift that bow. And she was doing very easily. So Janaka Maharaj was very concerned. Who can marry Sita? Who can marry Sita? Cannot have less strength than her. So in this way, he told, okay, only that man who can lift this bow and string it, that can be Sita's husband. So then Vashishta Rishi, he made arrangement and he took Lakshman and Ram there to the palace. And then he told Ram, you go and see that bow. And Ram understood. You go and see does not mean, okay, I have seen Haribo. No. See means you check it, lift it, strain it, and show your prowess. Then Lord Ram, he very easily, he did that. And when he was straining that, the bow broke in half. And the sound that came was so powerful sound that actually everyone that was around fell unconscious. Everyone. The whole universe heard that sound. Only Sita was standing with a garland in hand. And she looked at Ram. And I said, what is going on? And he said, no, you marry me. I said, that was not part of the deal. I am very young. He was very young boy. She was 6, I think, and he was something like 12 or 13, like that. I have not come here to marry anyone. I just followed the order of my guru to lift this bow. I say, no. This was the task to marry me. I say, okay. So now they made all arrangements, of course, because Rama said, no, without my father's blessing, I cannot marry. Then it took some time. So okay, then everyone was informed, everything was arranged, and then all the ceremony was made later. So now Sita has to garland Ram first to show that she is choosing him. That is the tradition, actually. The wife chooses. But Ram was taller, much taller, and she was standing and she could not garland him. At the same time, he cannot bow to her. She has to be able to do it anyhow. So understanding that embarrassment, that things were not going to be accomplished, Lakshman quickly came and he touched the lotus feet of Ram. So automatically Ram, he bowed down to him to, offer his respect to him and lift him. At that moment, Sita garlanded him and everyone started to shout in joy. Jai Sri Ram, Jai Sita Ram, Jai Sita Ram. So like that, this Ram Leela is actually one of the most dramatic pastimes of the Lord. From beginning to end, Hare Krishna Prabhu. From beginning to end, there is a struggle. There is big struggle. Starting when Kaikeyi decided to ask Dasharatha Maharaj to fulfill his promise that her son would be king. But unfortunately, Kaushalya gave birth first to Ram, and secondly, Ram was more qualified. And they became very also emotional. They distributed the kheer to others as well. Dasharatha Maharaj is supposed to give the kheer only to Kaushalya. But then he decided to give to Kaikeyi as well. And then both decide to give to Sumitra. Big problem. So then what happened is that actually Dasharatha Maharaj, he was very displeased by that, and he thought it was a conspiracy actually, even made by Bharat himself to become king. And his last words, the last words of Dasharatha Maharaj was that, I am cursing Bharat for making all this conspiracy and supporting all of this. I can never forgive him. It was in this mood that he left his body. When Bharat heard this, later on, he felt how much blamed and how much heaviness on his shoulder. Because in fact, he has no faults in this at all. On the contrary, he wanted to avoid that at any cost. But Ram was the one who pushed him to accept and fulfill Father's words. That's why his name is Bharat, the one who can take heavy loader on his back. So, from all sides, Ramayana is full of drama, full of suffering. Can you imagine Dasharatha Maharaj dies because of his son? Can you imagine Lord Ram, 14 years isolated in the forest without his family, and his family also without his presence? And not only that, Sita, she's so powerful. She could easily defeat Ravana, easily. It is mentioned in the scriptures. She could pluck the 10 heads like this, just like someone plucking a grape out of the branch. Easily. But why she didn't do it? Because there was a purpose that she wants Ram to defeat Ravan. She didn't want to show off superior. She didn't want to show. She wanted to depend on Ram's mercy. Want to depend on Ram's love. Actually, this is an example for us. How we should depend on the Lord. We should not think that we have strength to deal with our things. We should always pray. We should always surrender. We should always give in the Lord's hand. So, after rescuing Sita, bringing her back to Ayodhya, they start to live a peaceful life. Everyone somehow is happy. Okay, now both are together. Now they are back. There is no more war, anything like this. Now they will be happy forever. Like the common hope of being happy forever. But then some citizens of Ayodhya, they begin to doubt Sita's purity, because she was captive with Ravan for a long time. They thought maybe she's not pure to be the queen. Although Ram knew she wasn't impure. Lord Ram knew. But to fulfill his word, to maintain dharma, to maintain maryada, what he did? He sent Sita to exile. Again, so much pain. Again, so much suffering. And Gurudev often used to say, why people like to hear these dramas again and again, and they keep crying and crying, but they can't stop hearing it? It's not like a Brazilian novella, novel that you see on TV, very famous. It goes whole world. People translate in their languages and it's going whole world. Not like Mexican novels like this. This is something else. It's a transcendental feeling that fulfills our heart. And allow us to actually to uh, deep our devotion for the Supreme Lord. And Gurudev himself, from childhood, he used to go accompany his grandfather, his father to Ramayana Kathas, and he himself used to uh, speak Ramayana very beautifully, sometimes weeping, sometimes laughing. And when Gurudev was very young, he had darshan of Sitaram, Lakshman and Hanuman in his dream. And Gurudev in the beginning, when he began to get attracted to Krishna, to Radha and Krishna, to Gauriya Sampradaya, he felt, how can I betray my Ram? How can I give up this? It's very difficult. But then Ram came to him and said, I am the same. So Gurudev used to say, when we see Lord Ram, how we should see him? We should see him as my Krishna performing that pastime as Ram. Same way we should see Nrsimhadev as my Krishna performing that pastime as Nrsimhadev, and so forth. We should always see Krishna everywhere and in everyone. So in this way, Srila Gurudev, he used to glorify Lord Ram like anything. So later on, Sita was in exile, now alone, and she is pregnant. So she went to ashram of Valmiki Rishi, and there only she is hearing Ramayana, she is hearing all the different teachings of Valmiki Rishi. And then Lava and Kush, they take birth. And lastly, means after hearing so much about Lord Ram and not knowing that Ram was actually their father, they once went to the palace in Ayodhya to perform some type of presentation. Lord Ram was so impressed, so attracted. How beautiful these boys, how talented, how qualified they are. And then he asked, who is your father? Who is your mother? And very boldly they replied, we are brahmacharis. We only know our guru. For us, who is our father, who is our mother? It doesn't matter. And then Lord Ram, he was feeling something. And then he asked to Valmiki Rishi, who are their father? Who is their father? And then Valmiki Rishi had to say, actually they are your sons. Like that. So then Lord Ram, he thought, I must bring Sita back. But it must be some proof in front of everyone that she is pure. That there must be some evidence that no one can refute, that no one can say that she is not pure. Then when she came, she prayed to Prithvi Devi herself that if I am not pure, you can take me, like that. But then, if I am pure, you can take me. So then, when she was going, Lord Ram, he thought, no, I don't want. I will shoot Prithvi Devi. He said, no, if you do it, then the whole world will be destroyed. Then let she go. In this way, Lord Ram, by taking everyone together, they went to the river bank, and then by feeling so much separation from Sita, he then returned to Ayodhya and he went back to his abode. So Lord Ram, now let us understand a little bit of Tattva. Lord Ram, he is Maryada Purushottam, right? Krishna, he is Leela Purushottam. And Mahaprabhu is Prema Purushottam. What is the difference between three of them? Let us understand. Lord Ram, he's the one who has to follow etiquette. So etiquette for him is above everything, right? Is above everything. Lord Ram's love is bound by Maryada. But Krishna's love is not bound by Maryada, right? Krishna accepts all the gopis that are actually breaking Maryada. Because he knows that love for him is superior than any Maryada. So this is how things are evolving in Krishna Lila. In the sense that how the avatars are appearing and giving something else, something different. So what Ram cannot do, Krishna can do. And what Krishna cannot do, then Mahaprabhu can do. For instance, the sages of Dandakaranya, they were meditating, chanting Gopal mantra, and when they see Lord Ram, they have this attraction towards him in Madhurya Bhav. And then they approached him and say, we want to serve you in that mood. And Ram say, no, you cannot. In this Leela, I have only one wife. But when I come as Krishna, I can fulfill this desire of yours. So they take birth in Krishna Leela as the Shrutichari gopis. And then they perform the Katyani Vrata. Then they become eligible to receive the favor of Krishna. But there are so many associates like Hanumanji and others who are not actually aspiring for Gopi Bhav. They're not aspiring for Gopi Bhav. But nevertheless, when they come in Gaura Leela, out of that consciousness of being in Ram Leela or in Krishna Leela or in any other Vaikuntha Avatar Leela, when they come to Gaura Leela, they have a different mindset. They have a different personality, like in a neutral way. And from the neutral perspective, they know that Gopi Bhav is superior to all others. That Madhurya Ras in Parakiya Bhav, it is superior to all the other rasas and relationships. So everyone is eager to somehow taste a little bit of that Gopi Bhav. Actually, Gopi Bhav here means Radha Prem. What to speak of others? Even Krishna himself, he wants to relish that. He wants to experience what is Radharani's love for me. How she's relishing my love. You know, all this, the three famous Mahaprabhu, Krishna's internal desires to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To realize the glories of Srimati Radhika's love, to relish the sweetness, to understand what sweetness she is relishing in him, and the happiness she feels when she is relishing that sweetness. Right? So, in Gaura Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gives everyone the opportunity to have the taste for what is that Gopi Bhav. So this is how Mahaprabhu becomes the Prema Purushottam. Ram can give prema, Krishna can give prema. But why Mahaprabhu is called Prema Purushottam? Because they cannot give to each and every one. Their giving is what? Conditional. Krishna's giving is very conditional. Ram's giving is very conditional. We discussed this in Faridabad 2 weeks back. Nitin Prabhu was there. And I was bringing these topics there before I come here. Krishna, he is so transactional that he even says, Je jata mam prapadyante thams tatteva bhajameham. I'm not doing anything extra for you. That much you do, in the same way I will reciprocate. Nothing more, nothing less. Very calculating. Very conditional, very transactional. But what Mahaprabhu does? Mahaprabhu is just saying, no, even if you don't want, I'm giving you. You come to get this mercy and bring your pot. No, I have no pot, no problem. I give you pot, I give you mercy, I give you everything. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. So Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he says, Bolo Krishna means the immediate deliverance of the conditioned soul. Immediate. So Mahaprabhu, he is giving to each and every living entity the highest. That's why he's called Parama Karuna. That's why he's called Mahavadanya. Because he gives what is highest to the lowest. So this is the chance that at least I can speak about myself. Fallen person, unqualified, attempting to become one day maybe devotee. That is how such people like me have now a hope that by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we can get it. We can definitely get it. Mahaprabhu gave order to Nityananda Prabhu, you just go and make them chant. I don't require anything else. That's the only bhiksha I want. Prati ghare ghare giya magiye bhiksha. Bolo Krishna, bhajo Krishna, koro Krishna shiksha. Just take this from them, nothing else. That's why when you see in Bengal, there are many Vaishnavas who are not following exactly the same principles as we follow. Sometimes they smoke, sometimes they drink, sometimes they do some other things like that. I'm not saying that we have to do it, it's not like that. But I'm saying that they are going to be delivered because Nityananda Prabhu, he did not demand anything. He just gave. Sorry?
He demanded Shraddha.
Yes. If they are chanting, automatically they have Shraddha for that. So in this way, this is how Mahaprabhu, his mercy is boundless. And this is the hope for us. Because with Krishna is very difficult. With Ram is even more difficult. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has delivered the highest to the lowest. He made it so accessible actually inside of the name. You get Krishna Prem only by chanting name. That's why this is called Prema Nama Sankirtan. And Mahaprabhu, he inaugurated the Sankirtana Rasa. The same thing that Krishna was doing in Rasa Leela with gopis, the same type of prem that was being shared there is also being shared in Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. This is Radha Bhav. This is what everyone wants. You know, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he also experiences so much of Manjari Bhav as well. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, in many other books, there are many passages that he is also experiencing that. He is also relishing that. And that's why he is able to give us this. Because we cannot become Radha. The highest position we can get is to become a maid servant of Srimati Radhika.